You're listening to She's the Business podcast. Imagine your business is a vehicle to get you from A to B. Of course, you want it to be efficient, speedy, and have a really smooth journey, don't you? But for most of us, the path in business feels anything but efficient, speedy, and smooth. And why is it not efficient, speedy, and smooth? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in today's episode, so please stay tuned.
Hi, I'm your host, Jessica Osborne, and over the last 25 years in marketing and business, I've helped many brands to launch, scale, and grow, with some of them becoming multi-billion-dollar companies. I'm here to inspire you to get out of your own way and create a profitable, fulfilling business while living the lifestyle you really desire, without all the hustle. So I bring you She's the Business podcast, a unique blend of strategies, tactics, mindset, health, and spirituality, literally everything you need to be the successful leader of your dream business. Made by women, for women, this is your weekly dose of motivation and inspiration.
Welcome back to She's the Business podcast. Now, just a moment ago, I was talking about your business being just like a vehicle that's designed to get you from one point to the next point, like i.e. your destination, the vision, the end goal, the reason why you're in business in the first place. And why does it often feel so hard, like you're literally trying to drive the vehicle with one foot on the accelerator and the other foot on the brake? Or maybe it feels like you don't even have wheels on your vehicle. You're just clunking along, clunk, grind, clunk, grind. And of course, you can keep going like that if you want to. You know, you can push it along yourself with all the effort and the energy coming from you. It's just going to be a whole lot faster and more pleasant and easier for you to get there if you've got a smoothly rolling vehicle that is moving along at a decent speed, right? So that's our aim with the business, is like, let's design the business that actually gets us to the destination with the least amount of effort and energy. And I'm not saying we're not going to have effort. I'm not saying we're not going to work hard. I'm all about working hard and putting in the work, but it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be constant work that's keeping you up late at night, that's taking you away from all of those important family moments, you know, missing out on dinner while everybody else is sitting down with the family, or on weekends, you know, locking yourself up in your office just because you need to get work done. Like, that doesn't sound like the dream of building a business. Sure, it's okay every once in a while. You got to get something done. You got to do it, right? But that shouldn't be the norm. And if it is, then it's really a sign that we've currently designed a machine or a vehicle that's kind of not operating efficiently for you. It's not effective in that. Just like, imagine you had a really amazing car and then you've stuck on this car bicycle tires or maybe wooden wheels from an old-fashioned cart. It is not going to operate for you the way that it should. And what we're looking for is, how do you build the vehicle with the right engine, with the right fuel, and yes, definitely with the right wheels, so that you've got a lovely smooth journey, but you're actually going to get where you want to go in a time that is possible, entirely possible, and feels good to you. And that actually gives you the ability to reach your goal even while you're moving along. So today I've got a bit of a special treat for you, because I'm going to share in a moment part of the recording of my recent live class. It's a brand new class that I did for the first time, called The Art of Attracting Quality Clients. And in this class, the section that we're going to dive into today is where I'm talking about, I guess, really what the two biggest mistakes are. 2 out of the 3. I share 3 in the class, but I didn't want to make this too long for you. So I've picked out 2 of the most important ones. 2 of the 3 kind of big mistakes that I see so often that's causing this slow going. It's causing this lack of growth, this like feeling like you're pushing your business constantly and it's really not moving anywhere. Like, you're pushing it and damn it, this vehicle's got no wheels on it. So it's not rolling. It's just grinding against the pavement. And when we become aware of these mistakes and become aware of, our own situation and what we're doing, and maybe have a different perspective on that business, then it can literally lift off those brakes, can enable your foot to be on the accelerator and you moving forward. I do love to say, one of the things that I share right at the beginning of the class that is not in this snippet that you're going to hear today, it's not about reinventing a wheel here, and we don't want to pick up someone else's wheel and try to stick it on our own vehicle, because if it's not designed for your vehicle, it's not going to work very well. We want to be designing the right wheels for our own vehicle. And your business is unique. You're unique. It's your business. There is nobody else's business out there that's going to be exactly the same as yours. And, maybe if it is, if you're trying to lift up someone else's business plan and implement it yourself, that's probably also why it might be feeling hard right now, because that was designed to work really well for them. It's in alignment for that person, which means that you've got some different criteria, some different ingredients, some different things going into it. Without a doubt, you yourself are unique. So this is what we're looking at for you, is how can you have the most efficient vehicle for you to get you to your end goal. So without further ado, let me press play on this recording. Sit back and enjoy. I really hope that you gain some really valuable insights out of this recording today. And I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback. So the next mistake that the struggling entrepreneurs are typically making, that I see all of the time, is thinking marketing activities is what attracts clients. Now you might be like, what? What do you mean? Of course that is what attracts clients. Well, yes, we do have to do marketing. But what this is happening out there is you're constantly searching for a magical marketing method. I call it magical because, it's like the shiny object syndrome. Well, what is the thing that's actually going to work? Well, I've tried Instagram. Maybe it's not Instagram. Maybe I need to be on TikTok. And Sarah over there said I need a YouTube channel. So now I'm going to go and dabble over there. And what you see happening so often is people just following trend after trend, jumping from one space to another, trying to find the thing that works, the magical marketing method. And, it makes sense to be thinking, well, I'm just going to look at what the experts do and copy what they're doing. So you logically think that when you mimic their actions, then you'll have the same results, right? So you're doing all the stuff, the Instagram, the email, the Facebook ads, asking what else that you've got to be doing. But you can spend months or years doing this, jumping from one thing to another, and then telling yourself it must be because you're not there yet. You don't have enough. I must need more subscribers. I must need more downloads. I need to get more views on my reels and then they'll work. And, it's always about more. So the goalpost keeps on moving as you get to these numbers, and you find when you're there, you still crickets. I've put all that effort in to get the 10,000 subscribers and I still don't have the clients coming in, right? And so what happens then is you tend to assume that you're just not cut out for business. Like, I've done all the things, I've done everything everybody said. It must be me that's the problem, right? I'm not cut out for business. But that's not the case at all. The truth is that we're really being sold a lie about these marketing tactics, for a purpose, because usually people are selling you a program or a system on how to do them. And it's not that they don't work. They all work, actually. Every single one of them does work. That's the thing, but they're not the cause of their success. They are a tool that helps you to create the success, right? It's like building a house. It's not like all I need is a hammer and I can build a house. Like, no, actually you do need a design, you need a plan, you need the engineering, and then you put it together with the hammer and then you get the house. But a lot of people are thinking all I need is a hammer and the nails and then I'm good. That's why you see people who are posting, 3 times a day on Instagram. And, if it was just about the hammer and the tools or the posts on Instagram every day, then they would have clients, and most of them don't. 99% of them are struggling. It's because the cause of the client sales actually comes from what's inside your strategy, which is invisible, it's below the surface. It's not what you can see other people doing. And that's why this is tricky. That's why most people don't know this, because they're looking at what they can see. They're looking at what's visible out there. They're looking at what they can, I'm going to notice what this person's doing and reverse engineer it and figure it all out and then do the same thing. It's like, that's why it doesn't work, because you can't see the strategy beneath the surface. is if you're not talking to the right people for your business about the right and have the right offer for them, then doing more promotion, changing platforms, any of those marketing tactics, they're not going to change your results at all. Now, Claudia is a beautiful client of mine. She joined Business Jam way back in 2020. She launched her third business from it. So she wasn't brand new to business at all, but she only had 4 people on her Facebook page at the time that she launched it. Within 2 months, she had filled her books. She had made back more profit than her entire investment in Business Jam. And she was able to spend time with her young son. That was one of her big drivers, was to stop doing business the really hard, grinding way. She was doing all the energy and effort and not having results. But she had a clear plan. She stopped doing the stuff that wasn't working and just focused on what she needed. Now, the third mistake that people are making is trying to scale what I'd say is too early, with the low ticket offers. This is a really popular theme on social media. Of course, not surprisingly, the people talking about it tend to be the ones selling the low ticket offers. So telling you that this is the magical bean that you need for your magic beanstalk. And it's not that they don't work, just like with the marketing tactics. Of course they do. They can have a really powerful impact on your business when you're ready to scale. And that means that you have a profitable foundation already, right? So when you integrate the low ticket offers on top of a profitable foundation, then you've got a really great scalable business. But this is a lesson I learned the really long hard way. Here was me back in 2017 when I decided I'd start my second business, this one. I was on maternity leave with baby number 2. I was 38. I was head of marketing for a top 100 listed firm at the time. And this company did not believe that mothers were capable of having an executive role and still being a good mother. They thought you're just not going to be attached to the business at all. And I, didn't agree with them. B, thought I can't convince them to change their mind. I'd already tried after having my first baby. I could just see the writing on the wall there. And I didn't really want to spend my early years dropping my kids at daycare and being married to my job. So I decided the business was my route to getting the freedom and the lifestyle I wanted. It took me about 6 months to set up, and then I had my social accounts and website. I was doing a bit of posting, usually at night while I was breastfeeding. And then when I was ready for clients, miraculously, I had sales calls being booked and I got 5 clients signed up, literally in that very first month. I thought, I'm home and away. Like, this is amazing. How easy. Like, woohoo, business is easier than what I thought. Haha. 2 months later, I was absolutely struggling. I walked outside. I was exhausted, literally living on coffee fumes at the time. And this photo of me is probably taken around that time. I had 7 clients by then, but I couldn't even remember when I'd last exercised. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't looking after myself. I felt totally guilty about my husband having to really manage so much of what was going on in the house. And I was always, not having dinner with the family because I was on a call. And I thought, this isn't what I envisaged. It's not how I signed up for. And I was miles away from my profit goals. So I was already compromising on all of my time. And I was so far away from the income goal. So I thought straight away, the problem is my time, right? I had maxed out the time. I couldn't earn enough. And we all know time is finite. Of course, that's obvious. You've only got so much time you can invest into your business. There's a limit to how many clients you can serve in that time. And so when you've used up all your time, you hit that capacity ceiling. And this was really limiting my earning ability. So I was asking myself, well, how can I earn more in the time I have? How can I make it work? I already had a bookkeeper, but the business wasn't making enough for me to fund a team at that point in time. So, it wasn't like, well, just bring on more people and, grow a team. I was like, well, I don't have the resources in order to do that at the time. So what could I do? And the obvious solution was what the online experts were all saying. They were like, well, switch to a one-to-many model so you can serve multiple clients at the same time. So I was like, excellent, I found it. This is what I need to do. And I got to work. I reduced down my one-to-one hours to give me a bit more time to spend on building this other side of the business. Started learning all about courses and memberships, because even though I'd done a lot of marketing for services all through my professional life, I hadn't created my own course before. I started a free Facebook group. I created a coaching membership. I had paid workshops, mini courses. I worked really hard creating them all, learnt and launching strategies, put them out there, sold places in them. Breathing. A year later, so I had more clients. I had a VA, I had an accountant, and I had all these tech platforms to support all these systems. But I was working even longer hours, and my expenses were way higher. So my profit margin had actually got smaller. I was earning less. And that really hit me like a ton of bricks. I thought, what an absolute failure. I thought I could do this. After that initial thinking business was going to be so easy, here I was feeling like a complete loser. You know, I could really see how it would work eventually, but I was going to need a bigger team just to keep up with all the processes and the back end admin. You know, I needed to claim some of my time back. And I could see it was going to take a long time. And that would mean I would need to get a job now, because if I didn't have the income now, I was going to have to go back to work and get a job. So I was in this place of like, well, I don't have all the time in the world just to sit around and build it slowly this way. So I started to look for a better way. Back to the drawing board, I call it. You know, and success really does leave clues, you know, that saying I 100% agree with. So I really went looking for them. And what I'd done in my first business had gone from, you know, what I like to call a side hassle, because I didn't like it when it was a real hassle to me. But it became a really profitable business that could afford a business manager. And I'd turned that around in the space of a few months. So I started to go, well, what did I do then? You know, how could I apply that to this business? And what about all the businesses I'd worked for over my career? Because some of them had launched brand new businesses and brands that had had huge, huge growth really quickly. And I was looking for these patterns, you know, like a really common factor. And then I found it. It was really exciting because it was so simple and it was actually under my nose the entire time. And this was switching my focus to premium services for quality clients, leaving, you know, the price competitive mass market for others. And that was what all of these success stories had done, exactly that thing. And I'd done it before in my first business. And I realized here I was yet again undervaluing my expertise. I could switch my focus back to one-to-one and shift those offerings to be a higher level. And this is a really quick, simple change that I could do pretty much instantly. But suddenly all the fear reared up. I don't know if you've ever felt like that before as well. Let me know. But, you know, my clients, well, they were really price conscious. The ones who I had been signing to date, I was thinking, I don't know whether they would actually buy from me if the price was higher. So it felt like this was a huge risk. What if nobody would buy at a higher price? What about the people who couldn't afford it? You know, I could see the answer was so simple for me, but I really doubted that it could work. And ironically, at this exact time, I was working with a client called Melissa, really lovely, very, very smart brand strategist. She had been struggling to attract clients except for referrals. Her earnings were too low with her one-to-one, even though she had all of this amazing professional expertise. But when we'd been looking at her business, I realized that she was targeting a premium service at a low quality client who just wasn't ready for it. They weren't even ready for the kind of service she offered. Even though she brought the price right down, it was ridiculously too cheap for what she was doing, because there were other businesses out there that were charging up to $50,000 for what she was charging $3,000 for. And so helping her to kind of see that and recognize it and shift her offering to be a premium offering and for a different type of client. So there was alignment there. She instantly gained an extra 12K from her very next project. Same effort and energy on her part, way, way higher. That was like a 500% profit growth for her. And in the simplifying that we did with her pricing model and how she was charging and managing it all, she actually gained back all of this time, and she had a brand new baby at home. So it just meant that she was now able to have a business that was really profitable, successful, and work for her. So to me, at this moment, I was like, okay, that is exactly what I need to do as well. You know, it's the same thing. So I got up, decided it, as you do in the middle of the night, at that moment of like, right, I wasn't sleeping, got up at 2 a.m. and I went down and worked on my laptop while everyone was asleep. I created a premium package knowing that I could always swap it back to doing it a different way if it didn't work. But it did work. I got on the next discovery call, which was about a few days later, and I, offered it to this person, and it was an instant yes. Like, not even any question, no hesitation, booked and paid. And I just thought, wow, this is insane. I thought I had made something that was very premium. I look back now and think it wasn't actually. It was probably very appropriate pricing. But the difference it made was incredible. Sales became easy, and I hit that first 10K month while working less than 20 hours a week. My clients were an absolute dream to work with. And this is the best thing. Suddenly, by attracting these better quality clients, they were getting the results. And so it was a real win-win, because it was a win for them and all these great results. And then obviously it's a win for me as well. So much more fulfilling, worked for me in my timing, and I was able to hit those income goals. So the big lesson I learned through that was the fastest and really easiest way to get to the outcome being fulfilling, profitable, lean, simple, multiple six-figure business, working part-time hours, is with a premium offer focus. The fact is that in every niche, there are a really wide range of price points. You can look around right now and look at your own, and you can find people who are probably charging at least double what you're charging, right? But are they struggling to sign clients? Yes or no? Usually, you'll probably notice that they're not struggling to sign clients. It's because that there is a big range of price points. There's a big range of buyers as well. And your offer helps you attract the right caliber of client. So it's not about whether people pay the price. It's about what type of clients you actually really want to attract. And let's not forget about all your free content. So, I said, what about those who can't afford it? Well, no doubt in your business, you are doing some form of free content, even if it's just what you're posting on social media. Don't devalue that. Don't discount it and think, well, that's not worth anything because I'm just doing that in order to, be able to attract people into your world. It is of value, especially if you're sharing little pieces of information, tips, or anything like that. That is valuable. And people who really can't afford your services can absolutely consume all of your free content. So you don't have to feel guilty about that. You can continue and create your offerings for the ones who can afford it. Now, you might be asking, but Jess, isn't it easier to sell low-priced offers? Because it just seems easier, like the numbers lower. It seems like there's less effort, right? Now, here's the secret that the low ticket marketers are never going to tell you, is that it actually takes the same effort and energy on your part to create and design your offer, build your messaging, write out all the messaging for it, have a marketing plan of how you're going to promote it for a $10 product as it does for a $10,000 program. Like, it is literally takes the same energy. And the marketing promotion is much, much higher for any lower priced product because you need the volume, right? You actually need it to reach far more people to hit that same revenue number. It's a numbers game. It's about the math. So let's have a look at how the math adds up. Let's say you had a modest goal, 20K a month for your business. And business A, they have a service that's $1,000. They need 20 clients then to reach their 20K per month goal. That makes sense, doesn't it? So if they're doing sales calls, which convert at 50%, that means they need 40 calls a month to get their 20 clients. And if their funnel conversion rate is 2%, which is, again, fairly average kind of number, then they need 2,000 people into their funnel in order to get the 40 book calls in order to get the 20 clients. Let me know if you're following along. I try to keep this as simple as possible. So let's look at the alternative with business B. The only thing that changes is their service, the type of service they have, which is a $10,000 service. So they need 2 clients per month for that. The other things staying the same, the conversion ratio is the same. They only need 4 calls instead of 40, and they only need 200 people to come into their funnel in order to get those 4 calls and the 2 clients. So really, when we look at the numbers and at the math, which one looks easier to you? I know which one looks easier to me. The less number of people. Now, you might have straight away be thinking, but I'm not ready for this yet. It all makes sense. And, logically that makes sense. And you can see how it would work and how it would be good for your business. But maybe you're like, I'm not ready yet. And this is really normal to think it. here are some of the reasons why you may think you're not ready. Is you might think, well, I'm too new. Maybe I need to start small and work my way up. So I'm too new at this. I might need more qualifications. I might need more testimonials. Don't I need to have a book or a podcast or be some sort of internet famous? Maybe you think you need a bunch of awards first to prove that you're of quality, or be doing speaking gigs, be earning over 6 figures already. These are just some of the things that I've heard over the years. Insert any other prerequisite that your brain might be telling you right now that you need before you'd be able to, shift your focus into a premium offer. Let me know in the chat if there's anything else that comes up for you. Like if you've got something that's like, well, I need to have this first. Because my big question for you is, who says so? Who told you that you needed that? Who said that you needed any of those things? Where is it written? Now, it's really not your fault at all if you've been feeling like you need these prerequisites, because we've been conditioned ever since we were young to seek validation and approval from others, in terms of validation that we're doing a good job, validation that we have knowledge or experience because we do a test and we get a result. All of our schooling, the whole system was really set up and teaching us all the time that we need a grade, an award, somebody else to tell us whether we have mastered a skill or a knowledge or anything like that. The thing is, now you're in your own business. Literally nobody else is coming along to tell you, hey, you know what? It's your lucky day. I'm giving you the tick. Here you are. You can now go out there, and now you're able to charge those rates that you want to charge, or now you're able to have a more premium offer and you don't have to pitch yourself at the bottom end of the market anymore. Nobody is going to do that. It is literally up to you and you alone. And so really all that's waiting for you right now is for you to decide that you're ready, that you're actually like, hey, I may not be the absolute number one expert. Like, who really is? That would be really hard to know anyway. And yes, of course, you may have still got some more things to learn. Who doesn't? We're all learning the whole time, right? So when are you going to decide that you have enough today? You are enough. You have enough. You have the expertise in order to do this. And that's it. It's just a decision. A scary one, maybe, and I feel you on that, but it really is just a decision. So when you've decided that you are ready, the very next question on your lips is probably, how do I do it? Okay, I'm ready. I want to step into my power. I'm going to own this space. I am ready to stand up, to tell people that I can help them, and this is how I can help them, and I'm going to do that because I'm excited about it, because I really want to make an impact. All of those reasons that make you the person that you are. When you've got to that point, the next question is always how. How do I do it? How do I create a premium or profitable offer stack? Maybe with a premium offer in, maybe with some other types of offers in as well. How do I attract the quality clients that I need to reach those income goals in the time that I want to be working? Well, that is exactly what this class was teaching. So the main part of the class is actually yet to come. So if you've enjoyed that little snippet that you've just listened to, then I encourage you to get your name on the list and come and join me for the actual whole class, because we're going to go through the 3 main parts to your wheel, to the wheel for your vehicle, the engine, whatever you want to think of it as. The thing that is actually going to get you that momentum that's going to start moving along. Once you've got the wheels on, then you can think about what sort of fuel you're going to put in and all of that stuff. I think a lot of the time we're jumping ahead and looking at what is the fuel for my engine? What promotion should I be doing? You haven't even got wheels on the thing yet. So putting all that fuel in, even if it's high performance fuel, it's not going to do much for your vehicle if it doesn't have any wheels on. So we've got our wheels, we need the wheels, and there are 3 parts to it. So if you want to head along to jessicaosborne.com/clients, then you'll find a schedule. You can reserve a seat for the very next session of this class. And I'm going to take you through what it is and share with that to you in detail, so you can walk away at the end of it knowing exactly what these things are that you need to focus on, why you need them, how they link together. And it is that simple. So what are you waiting for? Let's head over there now. Get a seat for this class. It doesn't cost you anything. It's absolutely free. I love sharing this stuff with you. And, you never know, I might actually even put another little snippet on the podcast in a few weeks' time. But, if you've liked what you heard today, then absolutely jump over, pop your name down on the list and come and join me for the next class. It's going to be so much fun. I love having you there live because you can ask questions and I can answer them for you. We can, really have that chat and engagement as we're going along, and helps you get the most out of it, doesn't it? So thank you for tuning in today, and I will be seeing you again next week.